All right, everyone, we're back here. Gronk versus Black Tide, the men's quarterfinals. Here at Capture the Flag, I'm Manjot Melly, and joining me once again, coaching extraordinaire, Will Saxby. How's it going, Will?
It is good. It's much better weather today than it was yesterday. So we are in for some interesting things. You know, the weather won't hamper the pass game or any play calling. It's honestly the most perfect conditions you could ever imagine.
So yes, we've got the Black Tide and the Gronk team sheets there as we get ready for the opening possession. Pre-game as well. We've had a haka from some of the New Zealand players as well, from the Wahine Toa. It was awesome to see, wasn't it, Will?
It was. It's good. We got two really good games happening on both of the fields to the right and left of what you're seeing on the live stream in a sec. We got the Fiji versus Jim's team on the right side, and then we got one of the girls' games, one of the Sorbet teams versus one of the New Zealand teams, which is good.
Yeah, we've got Black Tide versus Gronk. Both teams unchanged from the last time we saw them here on the live stream yesterday. It's going to be a great one as we get ready for the opening possession. Black Tide, when we saw them, had a heartbreaking last-minute loss to the ambush, but really, they got out of the group, so in the end, they did enough.
Yeah, they had a good win over the Dingoes, which I think a few people were surprised by. Yeah. I unfortunately wasn't there, but from what I was told, they were able to contain that sort of the quarterback extending plays a lot more against the Dingoes, which obviously Pablo, being a very experienced player, was good at doing, and he is extremely fast. So they did a very good job to contain that sort of level of play from them.
Yeah, Pablo, he was a great player when we saw him for the Dingoes yesterday. Black Tide, so they lost to the ambush. Ambush lost to Dingoes, but Black Tide beat Dingoes. It was a bit of a rock, paper, scissors. I was talking to a few of the ambush who were very sad to miss out on playing the quarterfinal today. But knowing the ambush, they're not sad for long. And we know they'll bring the energy later on.
Yeah, we've just watched the ambush and Doss run around in a Homer Simpson onesie, and it is currently 32 degrees outside, so he will definitely not be feeling too good after that one.
Yeah, so just getting everything set up here for first down. We get ready for this game. Gronk and the Black Tide.
It's a bit of a rivalry here. So Phil Kern, the quarterback for the Black Tide, has been Bart Foley, the quarterback for Gronk's backup for the last few years in the Queensland teams. And people like Colin Kugler, who's the blitzer for the Black Tide, was part of the tongue darts and the Queensland team with Bart Foley too. So there's a lot of players that have played together before. We'll see if it comes into effect in this one.
So Foley back to throw on the first play of the game. Going deep. Luke Hegney's way. Hegney, what a catch. Hey. What a catch all the way. Gets tagged. And he's going down near the 5.
Throws it up in double coverage there. And Luke goes up and makes Bart look very good with that ball. And basically takes it away from two of the smaller defenders on the Black Tide team there. So it's an awesome play by Luke there.
And again, that's the WA rep right there.
That's one of those tall targets that Gronk has again, and a guy that's not afraid to go up and get it like he's just shown.
So Hegney goes off, and now they have Whitfield in the number 0 today. He's changed his number, and two other receivers as well. They go to Whitfield's way, and Whitfield goes for the goal line, and he is a couple yards short now.
It's a great tag by the inside defender there. Larry makes a pretty good move, but unfortunately gets caught, so he doesn't get in for that touchdown there, but he's down, it looks like, the 2 or 3 yard line.
So Foley is having a good start, 2 for 2 now. And Gronk see if they can punch it in on their first drive. Did really well to start the game yesterday. They line up in a bunch formation. Here goes Foley, quick one, and through for the touchdown is Seb Ruiz.
Again, his easy, surefire target underneath balls. That's exactly what he's going to do. And Seb comes up money every single time, nearly.
Yeah, Seb, He's been a great player across the board, representing Queensland for a few years until the eligibility rules changed for that competition in the Nationals, which meant he was ineligible as he's from Mexico. So hopefully that situation resolves as well for Seb.
Some cool news now is that is not a requirement anymore for your state teams, so it's only come in the last couple of days.
Oh, Whitfield just dropped
Larry
it.
nearly giving up a pick there.
Yeah. Hey, I love hearing that though, Will. I love seeing guys like Seb. They'll have the chance to represent their state now.
Also,
again.
people like Larry, like Seb, there's a couple of British guys that have come over and some American guys that have moved over, and they'll now have the opportunity to play.
That's awesome. Great news for football, getting great players on the park here in Australia. Here's Phil Kern awaiting the snap, going a full hood today. Gets it quick to Wilson van der Veen, who had a good game yesterday for the Black Tide. Great, dependable target.
So it looks like the Black Tide are going to be running some two quarterback because they've got their slot receiver standing there ready to catch a snap. So a little bit of deception there of where the ball's going to go and not making it super obvious on any play. We'll see if he does it again or if it was just designed for one. Yep, looks like they're setting up for 2Q at any point. So we'll find out what happens.
Going back to throw here. Looking, wants a quick one
Great
and
ball.
gets it to the receiver there. Going for that catch. Another great dependable target, Colin Kugler. Or shall I say, Quinn McCoy, who had their first touchdown in the game against the Ambush yesterday. So Quinn McCoy, the Black Tide, they're an amalgamation as well. I did get this wrong yesterday. It's the Fortitude Valley Vipers and the Trodden Tridents. Thought there was a bit of ambush in there, but I did get that one wrong there. So here's the third down play. Going
great
deep.
Ball over the middle.
Almost had McCoy again. Fourth down coming up.
It's just too far on the ball there from Phil. It was a nicely placed ball. It was a good read. He just let it a little bit too far.
Me and Phil were talking after night one. I was like, he's going to come down for a tournament recently to play on my team actually in Canberra, but couldn't make the trip unfortunately. So one day we'll have to be teammates there, Phil. Be fourth down here.
See what they do here. They're just off. There we go. Nice little quick pitch.
And Van der Veen again. Gets the first down. Such a good receiver, Wilson van der Veen.
So Phil was in a good situation there on third down. He had about half a yard to go to get the first, so he thought, look, this is going to be a gimme here. Let's take a shot over the middle, and it just unfortunately came up short. But then had a nice, easy, quick, just what you would call a look route, where everyone just turns around and looks at the quarterback, and as soon as you catch the ball, you've pretty much got a first down. So it's a good little play there.
Yeah, just watching the sideline as well. Brody Robinson reading some plays as well for Black Tide. Could see him in for some action as well. He fakes, going deep. Oh, incomplete.
There's some good defense there by Brad. Didn't bite on the fake handoff. Tried to get some sort of a defense to bite down on Shale with the outside handoff there, and then Phil kept it and came through and threw the ball out. So Brad did real well to keep his eyes in the right spot.
So Mark Riley, the intended receiver in that play, he goes off for play. Bring in new personnel. Secondary coming up.
Getting some good rotations at Black Tide. They're really not letting their guys get tired before they rotate them. So they're giving them a couple of plays if they're involved in a play or they're about to do something. They're pulling them off.
And a great play, flag down at the end. Whitfield came in with the tag. The catch was made by James Laughlin.
Larry's done a good job to draw that penalty there. He got himself in the right spot and forced the defender to make a move, even though there was no way that was happening, and took the penalty, took a little bit of a hit. So we'll see what the refs come up with, but it should be...
He draws to charge.
There we go. That's exactly what we thought.
Yeah, illegal contact is the official name of that, but drawing the charge like in basketball. So third down coming up here for the Black Tide, and they'll be marched back beyond into their own half.
This is a really, really bad spot for the Black Tide to be. They're going to need to get a chunk play here to have a shot at fourth down, because if they don't get some sort of yardage here, it's going to be a very easy defensive play for the Gronk team here. But looks like they're showing two pressure.
So let's see who goes. They'll send the blitz through Robinson. They'll get it out. Here he is again, the big receiver Lachlan.
It's a good little chunk play, or not good little chunk play. It was a good big chunk play of about 10, 15 yards there. So they've put themselves in a much better position to be able to play for fourth down. They're about 10 to 12 yards out, so it forces the defense to do some other things rather than sit at the back of the end zone on 4th and 35. So We'll see what they can come up with here. Wouldn't be shocked if there's some sort of two quarterback to sort of extend the play and find the holes in the defense.
See what Kern does. Usually a very calm and composed guy. 4th down, big pressure situation. Fakes it, turns the shoulder, gets Robinson to fall down, gets around Robinson again, goes deep for Coranda.
A little bit too far again. Oh, we've got a flag drawn here.
Oh, against Kern. And it'll be a 1st down at the 5.
Probably some sort of flag guarding penalty. We'll find out in a second.
Yeah, so that one there can be called. Here's the offense. Few Gronk fans around us as well. Well, we can hear some go Gronk chants.
Yep, we've got Bart's dad or granddad. He's here at every tournament. Always hear his voice in this live stream. So if you're hearing it, that's who it is again.
Edwards to the left, 2 to the right. Going deep for Edwards, and Edwards, oh, made a great effort for that. A little too deep, though.
A little bit of an ugly read there from Bart. He had Brad on the very good leverage on the defender there over the middle and then broke it outside, and he came underneath Luke. So if Bart can get his eyes down a little bit, he can take those chunk plays and get them onto schedule pretty quickly. But I think he just wanted to take that one-on-one shot there and see what they could get on 1st down.
Yeah, we saw them take those chunk plays against Team Fiji yesterday when we were commentating together. Well, something he can definitely do.
Yeah, they've got to try and get out of that habit, and that was the last game I watched it there, so I haven't seen them play since. But if they can get back into a good routine, stay on schedule, really wear down the defense, and
oh, almost picked! Oh, wow. Max Jamison had his hands on that football. Almost came up a big turnover there for the Black Tide, but it brings up a 3rd down, and they're still at their 5.
Looked like he was trying to target Seb there on the little corner out. Seb was completely open. It just looks like the ball came out wrong. And so it was a really good heads-up play from the defender in the corner. Who is that?
Jamison.
Yeah, Jamison making a really good play. Playing man coverage on Luke and still turning back to take away that ball heading to Seb Ruiz.
So here is 3rd down. Howard's got the football. He can throw it. But he's going to pitch it back, and Foley gets the chunk play. Foley down the sideline. He's going to make it 4th and very manageable now.
Looks like all those sprints Bart's been doing has been paying off a little bit. It's the fastest I've ever seen him move down the sideline there. He's got them in a really nice 4th and short situation.
Yeah, I do agree. Like, he has a lot of more speed than the last time I saw him. Definitely, he's got that fitness up.
There'll be some sort of a short little look play here again. From the Gronk team. We'll see how Black Tide play it. Do they want to take away the short options, or do they still want to be true to the deep options here?
So about halfway through the 1st half. 4th and 2 yards to go to halfway. Looking quick for Ruiz.
That's a
what
play
a great
by Colin Kugler. I think Colin knew exactly what was coming there. He's played with Bart for a very long time back in the tongue darts days. And I think he knew exactly what was getting dialed up there. Tried to go to his easy option to Seb Ruiz and take that little inside step, but Colin was 2 steps ahead and was reading his mind. So
see what Phil Kern can do here. Back to throw. Turns the shoulder. Goes deep. He's got his receiver down there, McCoy. And he's got the 1st down. What a great catch over the middle.
Like McCoy might have hurt his knee catching that ball, and he stuck his leg in the ground wrong there. You could see him wincing as he went down. That's a tough loss for this Black Tide team if he is hurt.
He was so good in that game yesterday against the Ambush.
I mean, he's already been opening the top off here a few times. They've just had a couple of miscues with the throw and some distance, but we'll see what happens with him. He is moving around on it, but not great.
Yeah, he's limping a lot. So
we've got a trips formation here from Black Tide. We'll see what they come out in.
As Kern rolls the other way, looking across his body, incomplete. Looking for Mark Riley, 2nd down coming up. Yeah, really got to monitor McCoy. Such a great option here for Phil Kern.
Look, he's probably their biggest weapon at the moment. Apart from Shale, hopefully they can start pushing the ball to Shale, because he is also another deep threat that is very, very good in the past at blowing the top off some defenses. So we'll see if he can get the same sort of thing. But they're going to keep targeting that middle of the field until Gronk start plugging it. So we'll see how they adjust and if they want to keep doing what they're doing or not. But we got...
Here's Kern. Looking quick. Here's Van der Veen, his dependable short area target.
It's a good read there from Phil. They've got the corner playing very, very far inside, almost over the number 2 receiver. So the next defender closest to them is Larry, and he's almost 10 yards back. So He's going to take those short 4 or 5 yard hitches every single time, force the defense down to then put it back over the top again. So I think Gronk could have been moving back a little bit more to stop those deep balls as they've been letting through.
So Lachlan to snap here. Coranda goes in motion. Fake to him. Looking. Kern turns the hips. Gets it to Vanderbeek. Touchdown! Black Tide! And the score is tied up at 6.
Phil's really shaking around the other Robinson a little bit. Sorry, there's 2 Robinsons in this game on either side of the ball.
Yeah, Ben Robinson.
Yeah, Ben. Sorry, wrong one. Ben Robinson. He's really shaking Ben a lot with the pressures. I think Ben just needs to bite the bullet and take his shot at pulling that tag rather than getting a little bit caught up trying to contain him, because Phil's not going to worry about it. He's got the height difference. You know, Brody's not very tall, and Phil's probably sitting at a 6'2", so he's easily able to look over him and read.
Oh, he wants Vanderbeek again, and Vanderbeek gets the lead, 7-6.
Again, same thing. He's faking out Ben, and Ben's sort of playing a little bit passively on the pressure. If he can start actually going in hard and aggressively attacking Phil, and then, you know, getting a sack or two and forcing his brain to start overthinking that, you know, oh, I actually might get sacked here, rather than just being comfortable standing and shaking him left and right.
Gronket's down here, 7-6. The champion team, let's see, they want to repeat their crown. They have to take it back here with Ruiz on first down.
And this is what Bart's going to do. They're going to keep giving up this inside hitch really nicely to Seb, and Bart's just going to keep taking it. You know, they're going to have to try and make some adjustments to this at some point. You know, maybe change the alignment of the corners, bring them in a little bit more so they can take away that empty space. And you'll see here that it looks like they're going to roll into it now. So
6.5 minutes left. Probably time for a drive for either team as Whitfield gets the catch here on the quick hitch route there.
And that's exactly what they do. You know, Scott Whitney was standing over the top, and I think Bart definitely saw that he was about to come down onto Seb Ruiz's little hole that he's been hitting repeatedly, and so they went away to where Larry was playing off a little bit longer.
And Whitfield gets the first down off that catch. So they got Edwards to the left, Whitfield and Howard to the right. Ruiz to snap here. Quick one to Whitfield, gets it to Foley, back to Whitfield. He can throw one, and he gets it to Ruiz. Great design play there.
That's that same thing there. Seb finds the holes in the defense really well. He has this really good ability to just get there and really make it tough for defenses to cover him, especially in these extended plays. Like, I can see Brody Robinson on the Black Tide getting into his back pedal before the ball's even snapped, and so he's standing at nearly 15 yards by the time the ball's out. So it looks like the Black Tide are very afraid of getting beat deep by, you know, the likes of Brad Howard and Luke, both Lukes.
As here's Foley looking Edwards' way, incomplete. Great coverage again by Jamison.
There was some good coverage by Max there. He slipped underneath as soon as he saw the break and put himself in the best position to play the out there. I can see the thought process by Bart, you know, going to his tall target, but, you know, position beats height every day. So Max has done a really good job to be in the right spot there and stop that.
So third down coming up here. See where Gronk goes. They'll move Howard into the slot left position. Whitfield one-on-one at the right. Edwards far left. Back to throw Foley. Looking for Howard. Incomplete.
Looks like he's just thrown that one away. Right into the lap of the ambush team, sitting in the end zone watching.
Well, I was talking about Alex earlier. I'm like, I hope that's not us, Will. I hope we don't get in that position. There's a lot of equipment here worth thousands of dollars. So we don't want to be in that position ourselves. Fourth down coming up. So they move. Howard Hegney comes in for Whitfield. Fourth down. Let's see where Foley goes. Looking Howard's way this time. Touchdown, Gronk. And they're back in front.
And it looks like they were all too fixated on where Seb Ruiz was. They knew that something short was coming. They got out of alignment to be able to play Brad properly, and he just found the hole and sat there. So
well done there, Bart Foley.
See where they go here for two.
Yeah, they're traditionally a two-point team.
I've seen a lot of this new formation where they've got three of their receivers in a bunch and then one out wide. And it looks like they're trying to force the isolation.
Hegney goes up. Robinson.
And we got a flag there.
Contact. So Howard went down as well. So We'll see if that contact happened where the collision where Howard went down happened.
Brad did a really good job there drawing that penalty from the safety. He looked like he was coming into his break, and then they had some sort of a rub concept where they forced the defender to actually make a choice and either avoid and lose coverage or play it through and then run into the offensive player. So it worked out really well for Brad here. They're going to get a second try at 5 yards for the same amount of points. So
yeah,
we'll see where they go here.
That's a dream for the offense. We're just seeing Quinn McCoy walk in front of us here outside the field. Yeah, very ginger with that knee. Hopefully he can come back some point in this tournament, if not this game. So here they go for 2. Foley rolls, trying to go for Ruiz, incomplete. And he is upset with himself there, Will.
Yeah,
Tell
he's
us
just
why.
missed the ball. He missed the throw, he let it a little bit too far for Seb. We'll see how Bart goes. I think he just needs to settle into his game. You know, his version of Gronk at ball is what's going to win them the game. You know, he has had issues in the past in sort of those playoff games where he moves away from what he's normally done. And, you know, maybe gets a little bit excited, but if he can ground himself or, you know, Brad can talk to him and ground him back in their game of football, then he should be okay and he should be able to bring him back in and take away this lead, especially now with Black Tide missing the number 1 receiver. If they can't get something going with Shale, their other deep threat, then they're going to be in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, we'll talk about that first down play as well. That was Kern throwing into the dirt. Ben Robinson coming in with the blitz there. That time went straight for the flag. Exactly what Will Saxby in commentary was saying to look for. Second down coming up here. 2 receivers to the left for Kern. And a receiver to the right, Coranda. Looking, quick one. Van der Veen again, who's caught the touchdown and the extra point.
It is. He's just taken what Larry's going to give him. Larry's very afraid of getting beat deep there, and it's showing. He's lining up that sort of 6 yards and then bailing immediately after the snap. I think he just needs to get his eyes right and start trusting his keys on the outside.
So as you can see, we're under 2 minutes. 1 minute 54 left. There's a timeout on the field as well. The clock has stopped. Black Tide using one of their timeouts. Here's Phil Kern, back to throw. Looking quick for Coranda. Oh, juggling attempt incomplete.
Just a little bit too far outside for Shale there. He couldn't extend his body anymore. See where they go from here. It's a 4th and short, so you can expect some sort of crossing routes, maybe some rub concepts, and at least 1 shot deep to try and draw away some defenders. But we'll see what magic they can come up with. Possibly some 2 quarterback.
Yeah, so they need about 10 yards here to convert. Still a bit of a way to go. They've got Brody Robinson lined up in the backfield. So a bit of 2 quarterback magic. Timeout Black Tide.
Looks like they want to have a chat about the play call. I don't think their coach and the quarterback are on the same page of what they were looking at there. So we'll see what they come out in this time. It could be completely different. They didn't like the look of the defense and what they were getting.
Yes, so Black Tide just going to have a discussion. Just clear up the timeout situation here. It is, I think Gronk could use their 2 timeouts just to preserve clock for 1 more drive. Black Tide, they will receive the possession to start the second half. But, yeah, we'll see if they can convert. Maybe do a bit of the double dip, we like to call it, where you score, and then you get the possession to start the second half and score again. So we'll see if the Black Tide can do it. It's 4th and 10, trying to get to halfway. 1:47 left in the half.
I'd like to see Black Tide get a first down and convert it here. It'd keep the game really interesting.
So let's see what they do. Back to throw. Kern by himself. Looking. Going. Wide open. Great pass there to Lachlan.
It's a great concept they've called there. It was worth calling the timeout for. So they've run, sort of 3 of their 4 receivers have come deep and tried to pull the safeties and the corners away just to open up a slower route, and they use their slower guy. As much as it's bad to say, James is their slower receiver there, so it's easier for him to be those underneath concepts for the first down like they just used. They pulled away all the defenders with deep concepts, or deep routes, and then brought James across right for the first down.
And Phil Kern, without the hood now, taking it off in this hot weather. First down, 4 plays to get in the end zone, looking quick, and here's James Lachlan again. Gets tagged by Aaron Howard.
Same spot again. I guess Aaron wasn't going to let that one go twice.
Timeout on the field.
Looks like the last one for the Black Tide.
So 2 timeouts a half. And they've used their 2. So 1 minute 29 here. You've got 3 plays to get into the end zone. Still a lot of time, Will.
There is if they can play it right and they can use the situation to their advantage. Like, they do still need to drain some clock down, but they do still need to score. So you're not going to give up a chance to score to drain clock at all. But in an ideal world, you don't want to score immediately. So you don't want to give, the Gronk offense, who as of right now has only messed up one of their 3 drives, another chance to come out and score, knowing that they're going to get the ball back. So we'll see what Phil does. Hopefully he's got the game management skills to be able to prevent that.
So bunch formation here. Van der Veen all the way to the left. Going to go over the middle. Here's Shao Coranda, his first catch. Gets a good amount of yardage. And they don't really need to go quickly. They'll force the timeout here by Gronk. So Gronk's used their timeouts. Bring up 3rd down.
Looks like they want to do the same thing and get the offense back on the field to put an even better score in front. If they can go into the half with a 2-score lead, you can pretty much rest assured that it's going to be damn near impossible to come back from if the teams don't, wildly change what they're doing in the second half. So
Black Tide putting up a good showing, though. We've seen throughout this tournament, Gronk is definitely beatable. They had that insane 90-win streak. The Ambush beat them in a recent final in the Brisbane Flag Football League, and the Worldwide has got Gronk yesterday. Team Fiji, we saw in the game on the live stream, they put up a good fight to Gronk as well.
Looks like we got a little bit of a mix-up with the play call.
So let's see what the Black Tide do. Trips, bunched near the center to the left side. Kern back to throw, quick one. Van der Veen again, cuts upfield, but not going to get past Howard. Aaron Howard, that one. 4th down, big play here, Will.
See where they go from here. They're on about the 6-yard line, 7-yard line. Ooh, terrible.
Oh, no, Will. Come on, come on. I went the whole weekend
I've
without...
been coaching too many 17-year-old girls lately. It's destroyed my brain.
We let out a 6-7, for the viewers at home. It's over for Will Saxby. That's going up in an edit somewhere. 4th down covered up here. Ball just outside the 5 at the 6-yard line.
Shao Coranda isolated on the left side of the field with, or right side of the field, sorry, with Brad Howard. We'll see what happens there. Phil's having a look at his matchups and wants to know what he likes. So he's going to take the penalty.
Going to take the delay. So they use a timeout, actually. So they won't take the penalty. They'll use the timeout. Just wanted to get the look. Have used their last timeout. Both teams out of timeouts here.
Yeah, it looks like the last 2 timeouts are actually taken by Gronk to try and save the time, and then it didn't like the look of the matchups they were getting here. So we'll see what they can do. The Black Tide might need to start motioning some of their guys to put them in better situations. Maybe get an idea of the coverage. If they can overload one side of the field, it could be good for them, but we'll see what happens.
So Lachlan to snap. Robinson, Coranda to the right of the center. Van der Veen to the left. Kerner waits that snap from Lachlan. Back to throw. Looking. End zone for Van der Veen again. Van der Veen cannot be stopped. Touchdown, Black Tide, and they hit the front again.
Looks like Aaron Howard's trying to draw a penalty here.
He's calling for it.
There's a little bit of a rub concept right over the middle with Aaron and Brad, and a couple of looks like Shale Coranda was in there too, and he just snuck out. But from what I could see, it looked like Aaron and Brad tripped over each other. Might have to watch that one back on the replay later.
We've got half time to look at that one for sure.
It was a great concept drawn up there, and they needed that score really badly to bring it back in the lead for them. So if they can get a 2-point score here, or a 1-point, sorry, they'll be
2 points
two points up. Yeah, it'll be a good spot for them to be in going into the half.
And here's Phil Kern. Van der Veen goes in motion, and Van der Veen dives for it. Incomplete, but Wilson Van der Veen has all the points, all 13 of them of Phil Kern throws as well. And Gronk has a little bit of time. You think time for Hail Mary here from Bart Foley. He has the arm to do it.
I think they're probably going to look towards their faster and taller targets here, going for those deeper throws to Brad, maybe using the sideline a little bit at the start, save the clock. if they like the matchup. I honestly haven't liked the matchup with Luke Edwards today. You know, Max has been doing a really, really good job locking down their tall target Luke.
Back to throw, looking for Edwards.
A little bit of a miscommunication there.
Second down. They've got to run to get the ball. It's actually falling on the other field. So the other team on those fields, the Wahine Toa have to help them out here. Second down coming up. Time is ticking for Gronk. So second down coming up. Got Whitfield, Howard, Edwards. The snap from Ruiz. Edwards one-on-one down the left side. Foley has to have it all on this play. It's all or nothing. Looking. He's got Howard incomplete.
The pressure from Colin Kugler is really getting to him. I can see what he was looking at. You know, Taylor, the Black Tide, is very, very far off on Brad Howard, so they're going to take those comebacks underneath and just try and use the sideline and inch away down the field as quick as they can here. But the pressure is coming to that open side of Bart, and Colin's not stupid. He knows what he's doing. He's taken away the open side so that the quick balls can't get out very easily.
22 seconds left in the half. Third down here. Foley's got to have it all. Goes Howard's way, and he's going to get it this time. They've got to rush. Fourth down. This is definitely going to be the last play. You can see the clock on screen now. 17 seconds. I think clock does stop as well. It's finals time, so they're actually allowing clock stoppages in the finals. So just to clear up the clock confusion, they have timeouts, but they also allow the clock to stop when a receiver goes out of bounds. Fourth down coming up here. 4 yards to go to halfway. 17 seconds.
A little bit of chat here from the Gronk team. They're definitely cooking something up here, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see a deep shot or even a score here. But it's all going to heavily hinge on how Colin Kugler's pressure is coming. Yeah, he's
Foley. They get in front of
Oh,
Kugler legally intercepted. Intercepted. What a great diving play. Taylor Groves comes up with the football. The Black Tide up by 1. Is there still time? Yes, there is. The clock is stopped with 12 seconds left in the half.
Looks like the ball was going to Seb Ruiz, and Seb couldn't keep his balance and pull the ball in, and it's just bounced out straight into the chest of Taylor.
Imagine if Phil Kern can just hit one of his receivers. He has a couple plays to do it.
Looks like Quinn's back in the game now. He's probably going to be limping around, but wouldn't be shocked if we see some sort of a deep ball to Quinn or to Shale Coranda here.
And they're going. Pump fakes. Quick one. Gets to Coranda. He steps out of bounds. So the clock stops. And they have 6 seconds. They use exactly the half amount of the time that they had. Went down from 12 to 6. So you know they have one more play in them. Ball 2 yards inside the half. This is huge. 23 yards away from the end zone. Phil Kern, he'll have to throw it. He's got the hood on now. He's been on and off that hood. He's going to go back to throw. Looking. Quick one here. Lachlan has to get out. Did he step out in time? There's 1 second, I think, on the clock. They're going to reset it. They're going to allow the time to go to 1. No, they're not. It's going to be halftime. They're resetting it to 20. Yeah, I was watching that clock move up a little in little stages there, Will. That'll bring us to half.
It was close.
Yes.
It was very close, but I think Phil would rather take that option and hopefully have a little bit of time left versus...
I think we'll watch that last touchdown again to take the lead. Bit of a controversial one there.
Oh, there's a little bit of contact from the Black Tide.
A little bit for you there,
I can
Will.
see what Aaron was getting around. It might have been
Shale.
a little bit of a push off.
Yeah, Shale was coming in with that little bit of a...
Yeah, I think it was just feet getting caught up, and Aaron was trying to step back into, you know, Brad sealing Shale down and sort of got a little bit caught up.
So let's see. Yeah, I think they might have just tangled feet, the Howard brothers. I think it was a good non-call there. Yeah, so just wanted to give you a little extra bit of a view there.
You're never going to be happy about it as a defender. You know, you don't know what's happened behind you. All you know is that you're lying on the ground because you've tripped on someone and you've been hit. So it is a bit difficult to see from there, but, you know, we'll see how it goes from here. The second half, we got Gronk coming out with the ball, and Black Tide are up by a point. So they're definitely moving the ball better. I think we need to see Bart get into his game of ball, which he has been a little bit, but there's been some small mistakes that have just turned into big issues for them. And that's what football can do. Very, very small mistakes of, fumbling a ball a little bit on a catch can turn into a pick and turn the momentum of the game there. So we'll see what they can do and how they can rally.
Yeah, so we're expecting a bit of a longer game in terms of total time as well. So probably fit in a few more football plays with the clock stoppages around as well. Just to let the viewers at home know as well, a little bit of confusion maybe because they're used to the rolling clock, but the clock does stop during these finals games. They do allow the clock to stop when the receiver gets out of bounds, I believe within the last 5 minutes as well of game time in the half. So Phil Kern, this offense, what would you like to see from them, Will, to start the second half?
It'll be good to see him getting the ball out to his other receivers a little bit more. He sort of was sticking to Quinn a lot more before the injury, and then you've seen a lot more of his balls go to James. So maybe try and get Shale in the game a little bit on his deeper concepts. You've got two very good deep threats. And then even looking at Wilson, like Wilson's being left very much alone. Like, Larry, when he's playing over the top of him, is giving him a lot of respect in terms of the coverage. He's giving him that 10 to 15 yards nearly after the snap. So really exploiting that.
See where Phil Kern goes here. Quick snap here and goes to Van der Veen on cue. Second down coming up. Yeah, they gave him a lot of space again. Howard with the tag.
I don't know if that really worked out how they thought it would. I like the motions for him because the Gronk defense isn't adjusting to these motions. And whether they know the play call that's coming based on the cadence or anything like that, but we do need to see a lot more motioning from this Black Tide team to try and manipulate the defense. And if the defense doesn't want to move, then take advantage of it.
And here's Wilson Van der Veen once again.
There it is right there. Larry playing off a little bit too far, giving Wilson a good 8 yards to run up and hitch at. And Phil can see it, he can understand it, and so he does well at it.
So rotating McCoy out here. And bring in Mark Riley. So third down coming up. And Riley will line up in the backfield. So here it is. A bit more trickery from the Black Tide, trying to catch the Gronk team off guard. So Lachlan with the snap.
Looks like Larry Whitfield might have brought his leverage down a little bit, and he's playing a little bit tighter to Van der Veen there. And great ball over the top to Shale.
Howard knocked it away. Fourth down.
Brad did a really, really good job of getting back in phase there on Shale. Shale is a really fast threat deep, and it's hard when you're playing as a defender to be able to catch back up and, train your eyes to not cheat and look for the ball when you've sort of been beat. So he did a really good job of getting back in phase on Shale and being able to put himself in a position to play the ball and play the hands there. It was awesome to see.
Fourth down, up by 1. They want to add to the lead. Ball coming up at 6 yards away from halfway. So fourth down coming up. 2 receivers to the right. Van der Veen to the left. Kern looking over the top. And caught by Coranda all the way. Touchdown, Black Tide. Touchdown, Black Tide. And this upset could be on.
There it is, another one of those rub concepts. The Black Tide are doing really well running and getting these Gronkett defenders running into each other. And there's no way to complain about this. They're just not sound within their rules of how they're going to play stuff that crosses paths. Like, they're running these splits with the receivers really, really tight and forcing no room for the defenders to move in except for into each other. And that's exactly what happened here. They ran 2 slants from either sideline, crossed it over the middle of the field, and Brad and I think his brother Aaron just ran into each other. And Larry, by the looks of it too, and just left Shale completely by himself and 3 Gronk defenders on the floor.
Yeah, and Van der Veen even was open for a first down, but Coranda just took it out of there. Here it is for the 1-point try. Kern rolls to the right, looking over the top. All alone is Mark Riley, and he will get in. It's 20 points to 12, and Gronk
It's just a great play there by Phil. So it's a lot easier to do on a smaller field, unlike a tackle football field being 35 yards across. It's really easy to do that sort of stuff here on a flag field where you can run the other way and throw it back across your body. It only ends up being a 15, maybe 20-yard throw, which he's just done here. He's pulled the entire defense, forced the rules to pull across with them, and thrown the ball the other way and scored.
First down here for Bart Foley. Back to throw. Going to throw it across. Here Ruiz throws it to Whitfield. Diving catch gets it here. I was just about to say after that 1-point conversion, Gronk hit the defending champions. They're on the ropes right now, Will.
Yeah, they have to come up with something this drive. They're going to have to score their 2-point to at least bring it back into a tie game after that 1-point conversion there. So we'll see what happens here, but it was a good double Q play, but they really got nothing out of it. It was just a lot of wasted energy for a yard or two. So Brody Robinson backing up pretty far straight away, worried about getting beat deep by Larry.
Brad Howard with the catch. Gets tagged immediately there by Taylor Groves, who had the interception before halftime. It's third down.
I think the Black Tide are doing a very good job keeping the lid on this defense from the corner side of things too. Like the corners are playing back a little bit, but they're not scared to come downhill when that ball breaks. They're reading their keys properly. They're seeing the separation of the hand from the quarterback, and they're playing down on it. So they've got to be careful they don't get caught with a couple of pump fakes because it could be their undoing. But they're doing a very good job keeping lids on some of these deep.
Foley goes deep, and Howard, when they needed to play the most, touchdown, Gronk!
And as we were talking about it, keeping a lid on the defense, that's where Brad Howard came up and just beat him deep. You know, the technique of the DB there lost them that rep. You know, he got lost of where Brad was, and Brad saw it. He took his leverage further outside, and Bart knew exactly where he was going. It's that connection they've had for a long time, and they took advantage of it, and they executed it very, very well.
That combination when they needed it the most will put them within 2. They'll go for 2 to tie it up. Gronk it. When we thought there was a chance they'd be down and out, well, Brad Howard, he delivers. They have to do it again, though, on this 2-pointer. Foley looking, corner, Whitfield pushes, away, incomplete. Jamison in on the coverage again. He's been having a great game defensively, Will.
Yeah, he has. He's probably been the rock of their defense this game, and I think he kind of knew what was coming towards him then. You know, Gronk are getting a little bit predictable with where they're putting the ball in the red zone. It's pretty much every single play now they've been targeting the sidelines when we've seen them previously. You know, a lot of the time they're smacking that ball right over the center at the back of the end zone, but now they're targeting the sidelines a lot, and it's making the DB's job really easy.
So Kern back to throw. Quick one here for Vanderveen.
Ball's come out of his hand badly, unfortunately, there, but he's targeting that same thing. Larry's playing back a little bit too far, giving up too much, and they're just trying to get the ball out quickly to him, you know. Get the ball into the hands of the athletes and let them get the yards and make the plays.
Second down coming up here. So Ben Robinson on the blitz. Very important to watch as well. Backed up at the end zone. It's going to be important because for Kern, he has to avoid a safety. That could tie things up. Kern looking. Quick one. Vanderveen again. He got Whitfield to fall down. And Vanderveen having a great game today.
Looks like Phil's listening into the commentary and maybe taking advantage of Larry now and seeing that leverage and just putting Vanderveen on like an automatic hitch every play nearly, so that he has that sort of option if he likes the look of it straight away. And until they play downhill, they're going to keep attacking it. And then when they do come downhill, I guess Larry is got to be sane and complete in his defense to be able to take that ball vertical if it does come.
So 8 yards to go here for Kern. He can run this one, but he's going to pitch it back. And here's McCoy. He's going to throw it away. Whoa, loopy pass, 4th down. Got 8 yards to go. There's about 13 minutes left.
Looks like that might have been a little bit of miscommunication with Vanderveen. He thought he was heading outside and moving away, or Phil was going to be running up the sideline. And I can understand the vision, but got to be able to see where you guys are going if you're going to put the ball out there.
4th down. And Black Tide.
It's about 4th and 6. We'll see what they come up with here. It's a little bit of a medium distance play here.
They scored on their last 4th and get it to halfway play. So let's see what Kern can do here. Back to throw. Looking.
Double quarterback pitches it. He should just take off here.
McCoy running for it. Howard with the tag. And a yard
they're
short.
They're going to call him short.
1 yard in that, Will.
It looks like McCoy's hurt again on the ankle this time.
Yeah, he's putting his body on the line here for the Black Tide. They're going to appreciate his efforts today.
Yeah, he's playing like he doesn't have a game to play after if he wins, so we'll see how he pulls up for their next game after. They do have a couple of hours in between, or an hour, sorry, in between, but you know, it's going to be a tough slog if they can get through here for him.
So here's Bart Foley, down by 2. Quick one to Howard. Howard, who scored that touchdown to bring them within 2, gets another catch.
It's a good 8-yard play there from Bart. They're really going to keep picking on these corners again. You know, the corners have now had that deep threat come through, so they're going to be playing back and really afraid of losing that again. And they had been doing a pretty good job of it previously, but they might have just gotten a little bit complacent.
Yeah.
So we'll see if he can keep chipping away at them like we're talking about with getting on schedule with drives, which now they are. They've got a couple yards plus, so they have room to mess around with things.
And here goes Ruiz on the catch. Spinning around, gets the first down.
See if they give him a first. Yeah, they're going to give them a first down.
Yeah, always watching the line judge when I'm commentating.
They always going to be a little bit unhappy about that one with Seb and maybe give him a little bit of a, hey, let's use your brain here, because Seb's just put him at first and 25 now. So rather than going out of bounds a yard before and giving him a free play to take a shot.
So here it is, first down. So Ruiz getting that one, 2 to the right. Edwards to the left. Let's see what Bart Foley does here. Back to throw. Here's Howard again. His 4th catch of the half, giving him a lot of space here, Will.
It looks like they're doing exactly what Phil's been exploiting with Van der Veen and Larry on Bart and Taylor. Like they're just going to keep taking it away, and I think Taylor's also, he's worried about giving up the stuff over the top, and I think if they can bring them to the sort of higher red zone here at that like 10 yards and down, they kind of know what's coming. They know that Gronk have been hitting the sidelines a lot more when they get into this situation. They've been staying away from the middle, and Brodie Robinson is probably the reason for that. He is bailing immediately and playing that sort of deep middle coverage there, take away that threat over the top. So they're forcing the ball to the sidelines.
Foley rolls. Here's Ruiz. Seb Ruiz with the salsa hips gets out at the 4. Third down.
So we'll see where Gronk go here. The third and 5-ish in the no run zone, or 3rd and 4. See where they can go here. They're probably going to look at front pylon, back pylon concept of sorts. Maybe something quick and underneath and get Seb the ball or Larry the ball quickly and make them miss. But at the moment, they're sort of outbreaking routes to the sidelines, and those really tight windows just haven't been there because the DBs have been playing really well on them.
2 plays to get back to lead. Here it is. Back corner. Howard! Touchdown, Gronk!
Really forced Brodie into a bad position there to be able to have to make a choice late. You know, play off the break of the ball, and that's a tough ask to do when you're playing against someone like Brad, who is very fast, and Bart, who can put a ball out there on a line. So it's what they did. They gave him a little bench concept, and the corner, you know, was pretty much going to be made wrong there, and the safety had to fix it, and it's a tough ask for a safety to fix something like that with that sort of distance and time for the throw.
When they've needed him the most, 2 touchdown catches. Brad Howard, a legend of the sport, one of the key organizers of this tournament as well. Putting on a show today in many ways. They're going, Edwards gets the catch and they get the 2.
It's a great score there. So they brought it up within 6 points now, so they are a score ahead at least. They have a little bit more room to breathe, and it'll be a tie game if we can if we get a score here from the Black Tide and they don't have their conversion. So that was the thought behind going for 2 there at least. And even though we know they've been going for 2 every time, it does take a little bit of maths to get it there.
So here's Phil Kern. 2 receivers to the left, Carranza to the right. Big moment for him. Going to go short here. Lachlan, the center with the catch. Howard gets the tag and he goes out. So second down coming up here. Must have a drive, you'd say, Will.
Yeah, I think Phil just needs to keep going with what's been working. Like he knows what he's getting the look of on the outside with Van der Veen, and there's been no change in the play from Larry in terms of his alignments there to at least take the look away. Like, you know, even lining up down at sort of that 4 yards and then bailing. So running some sort of a press bail might be his answer here, but he's just giving up a lot.
Back to throw. Looking over the top.
Tipped.
Almost to McCoy. And as you said, ball tipped by Robinson.
Ben's doing a lot better of a job, like we were talking about earlier, where he was getting very hesitant in his pressure, and now he's just sort of coming in as hard as he possibly can and making the play regardless of what he gets from the quarterback. So it's good to see from Ben, and it's going to really cause some issues for Phil here.
So third down coming here. Second half of football. Only about 10 minutes left in the game. Get a time check real soon on the screen. Here goes Kern. Looking over the top. Van der Veen gets a catch. Down down the left sideline. No one in front of him. Going to go. Touchdown! Black Tide. Touchdown, Black Tide. Wilson Van der Veen.
And Wilson's been doing really good. He's making Larry's job really hard, and that's just that's not a bad play by the DB at all. It's I'm going to call my number. It's my time. I've got to make a play here. So Larry definitely took a chance, and he made a play, or he tried to make a play, sorry, but it just didn't work out. And so when you do that, when you do take those shots, you do have to be aware of what's going to happen if you don't make that play, and that's exactly what happened. He put everything on the line to take away the ball and try and get a pick, and it just didn't work out for him.
And going for one for the lead now. Phil Kern looking over the middle, gets it to McCoy, and they're in front once again.
It's a 1-point game now, so Gronk would have to come out and can't make mistakes. So we're going to be having a look here at Taylor and see how he matches up against Brad Howard, sorry. And if he just keeps letting him take these underneaths, because as long as he's giving it, Bart's just going to keep taking it. He doesn't need to be flashy and showy and run misdirections and throw the ball 25 yards down the field. That was the original Gronkett style of play, was just take the chips and take what you can get. So we'll see if it happens here.
So first down here. Bart Foley once again in a hole. Going deep. Howard's way. Gross pick. Intercepted for the second time. Taylor Groves comes up with the big play. Back-to-back massive plays for Black Tide. And they're up.
That's that maybe a little bit of a brain fart there for Bart, where he thought he could do it again a second time. He thought they were going to get complacent. The DB might have jumped down a little bit early, but Taylor has stepped up every drive. We talk about it, and it's as if he's listening into us, and he's understanding what we're talking about, and he's just made an awesome play there. He had better tracking of Brad just then. He understood where he was without looking at him, playing that sort of that single high defense, almost a cover 3 of sorts, and just leant back to where the ball was going and made the play for it. And Bart probably should have led the ball outside more, but that's what you get. Now you reap what you sow. So let's see how Black Tide come out here.
So they can put themselves in front by 8. Let's see. Phil Kern, quick one, McCoy, and again Larry playing too far off his receiver.
Yeah, Larry's just trying to stop. I get why he's doing it. It's just they've got to adjust in some way. If they don't adjust, there's nothing's going to be different. They have to make a change. Like, they've made a change on the other side now. And Bart Foley's playing corner, who he is a very, very good low defender, and that's probably why they've put him there, to get some sort of a high-low coverage on this right side of the field for us, or left side for you guys, to be able to have Aaron over the top.
As here's Kern looking, turns the shoulder, gets it to Sheo Coranda. Great play, and he flops a little bit as well for the flag. No flag there on Ben Robinson. Third down coming up. Bit of theatrics there. I love that. Gold actor.
Phil trying to pull anything he can. I don't think the officials are going to bite any of that. If anything, they would have laughed at him and told him to move on.
Gold Oscar for best actor there for Phil Kern. Third down coming up. Still a 1-point game.
See what happens here. Probably going to look somewhere towards Van der Veen maybe here. See what alignment they give.
Here goes Kern. Looking over the middle, gets the catch, and McCoy, playing through injury, gets the first down.
It looks like they're getting a little bit predictable in their calls now, the Black Tide. Bart knew exactly what was coming. It was going to be a snap and a rollout towards that side of the right side of the field for us, or the left side for you guys, right into, and Bart slid right over post-snap into the hands of James Lachlan, like just sitting right in that lane to throw the ball, almost ready to take that for a pick 6. But Phil tempered himself, looked back over and played around with the pressure from Ben Robinson.
So 2.5 minutes left. McCoy going to get the carry here. Gets a good run. They just need to run down a little bit of this time as well, Will. They have 4 plays to get into the end zone.
They are trying to chew that clock, and it's why they're moving a lot slower out of their huddle. So if you're wondering why, they're just trying to take their time and really chew away as much of the clock as they possibly can.
Just saw Fiji next to us.
Yeah,
they scored a touchdown.
Play.
That's the other quarterfinal going. I'll see if I can get a score for you guys as well. So here's second down coming up.
Yeah, there it is. Black Tide taking their time. They don't want to get the ball out too quick. Give too much time for Gronkett.
So don't have a score update on Reclub for you guys for Jim's flag and tag with Fiji. See if we can get the score in another way. Second down coming up here. Kern turns the shoulder, looking quick. Van der Veen is there, and Van der Veen with the catch on the sideline. Stays in bounds, most importantly, will keep the clock moving. 2 plays left. Timeout on the field, and a timeout used by Gronkett. They have 1 left. Trying to preserve that time. So either way, we will see Gronkett probably get the ball with about a minute left, trying to win or tie to force overtime. There's a minute 49. Clock management, very important here, Will.
It's going to be how well Phil can manage this game is going to dictate what happens. You know, we know Bart's a good game manager. He's very good at taking those short things and really chewing the clock up, understanding how much longer is left. And you saw it with, I know it's a strange and very distant comparison, but you saw it with Joe Burrow this week against the Baltimore Ravens. He was standing there counting down the game clock to his O-line so that everybody understood how much they needed to chew, how much longer they had left. And that's not saying that's what Phil needs to do, but it's what he needs to get going in his own brain, is to really take away.
Oh, Lachlan gets a catch. Was he in bounds? He stays in.
It's plays like that are going to chew the clock. And we got a timeout there from Gronkett. There you go.
And
so Gronkett are going to have to take that away.
They're out of timeouts here. So they will get the ball back. Just try and get the gauge of the clock. So at a minute 49 before that play. So you assume about 6 seconds taken off there.
Yeah.
So about minute 43, 42 you'd say left in this one. So Black Tide, if they score that conversion as well, they can take another 40 seconds off the clock.
If they score, the Black Tide would need to go for 2 to really seal the game out. So don't be shocked if they get a score to go for 2, because it puts it into a 2-score game. So we'll see what they come out with here.
Let's see. 4th and goal. Robinson to snap. 2 receivers either side. Kern is lining up at receiver. Riley to throw. He's got to go for it all. And he's looking across. Robinson intercepted. Brad Howard the other way. He's going down. 1 man to beat. Riley saves the game for Black Tide, but Gronk could have the ball in the half. That is not what they needed. Disaster.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. It looks like Mark just didn't have the physical ability that Phil has to throw that ball across his body, and he mechanically got stuck where he couldn't put the ball any further out. He had a receiver in the right leverage, you know, with Brad in trail, but he just couldn't get it there.
And Brad Howard, 2 touchdowns on offense. That big interception to save the game for Gronkett. He has been an amazing player this second half. He's just gone to another level. This is the Brad Howard we know and love.
And see, this is where Gronkett need to do the same thing that Phil was just doing. They need to manage the clock. They can't score too quickly. If they score too quickly, they're going to give too much time for Phil and the Black Tide to be able to come out and put points back on.
2nd down here. So down by 1, Gronkett.
So if we get a score from Gronkett, you'll see them have to go for 2 here to try and bring it within a 7-point game to force a 1-point conversion if they do end up getting back on the field and scoring, so that they do get another chance at still holding the defense and winning a game. But we'll see how long it takes them to get into the end zone, and hopefully they do play it smart.
So 2nd down, gust of wind going. Quick one, Ruiz! About a yard short, Robinson.
It's a good play there from Brody. He understood what was coming. He understood where the defense was going, where the holes were going to be, and where Seb was going to end up. So he hid behind the blitzer, which is a different tactic that I haven't seen yet. But he came downhill really quickly, understood where it was going, and stopped the play there. You know, it's probably a touchdown-saving play just then.
Ball at the 3. These are the endings we live for in football. What a great game we've had here.
You're probably going to look towards some of your go-to targets here, so your Brad Howards or your Luke Edwards here in the end zone. Being that he's got another down to make this play and make the score, probably going to have some sort of a back of the end zone or sideline pass here to one of those 2 taller targets that can actually go up and get it.
So a dynasty comes down to this for Gronkett. Quick one to Whitfield. Looking. End zone for Ruiz. Incomplete. 4th down. 1 play. 1 play they need to save the dynasty, to save the chance to defend their crown here, capture the flag.
There was a good design there for it. I think maybe they should have pitched it back to Bart there and seen what they could have worked. I understand they can't run with it, but the option wasn't there. The Black Tide were all over it. They knew where the play was developing and going. They should have extended it, pitched it back, and then had the receivers working and finding space within the end zone. Because now they're in a fourth down situation. They've got isolated Luke. We'll see where they go to here.
Here we go. 3 yards to go for Glory. Going! Ruiz! Touchdown! Gronk! They hit the front once again.
And there's his old faithful. Had a couple of hiccups at the start of the game. He's gone back to him again here in the crucial situation where they really needed Seb to perform.
And Seb Ruiz, the salsa dancer, dances his way into the end zone. They go for 2, trying to make this a 7-point game. Going for 2 here.
They're really putting some pressure on Taylor. He's been making some awesome plays, but they've really been focusing on wearing him down and really putting him in conflicts with a lot of what they're doing. You know, forcing him to pick low or high and trail or play inside. Like, they're really making his job hard. He's not playing a bad game by any means. He's just being made wrong a lot and being put in conflict in the plays that he's getting towards him.
So here's Bart Foley. Gets the snap. Looking for the 2. Gets it to Whitfield! And they got it!
There's the 2-point conversion. So it's now a 7-point game. Phil needs to drive the field with under a minute to go and get a 1-point conversion to tie it up and take it to overtime.
Over to you, Phil Kern. What can you do in response?
We'll see. Can the backup make a play and come out of the shadow of the starting quarterback to take away the game and their hopes of actually making it to the semi-final? Full of defending champs too. So Phil has the opportunity here to take out Gronk from the finals playing picture.
So here he is. Game on the line. They're back down. Second time this half they've been in a deficit. They've been in the lead for most of it. Get it to Shale Coranda. Catches it and goes out of bounds.
Just a couple yards there he's made. He's gotten out of bounds. I think it was more so to move up the field a little and save the clock. We'll see where they go. I don't foresee... This is where Larry playing back is probably going to come in handy for them. If he starts playing down now, I'll be shocked. But they do need to make sure they're covering this deep zone.
Interesting. No Van der Veen there. Out there for the Black Tide at the moment. It's probably the personnel that's got to win them the game. Let's see what Kern could do. Back to throw. Looking. Gets it deep. Robinson's way. Robinson! Almost brought it in.
And he knew he had the mismatch on Danny Allen there. So now Brody's quickly grabbed the ball. He's running it back.
Third down coming up. 27 seconds left. Incomplete pass does stop the clock as well. So
I think Brody does need to work on his hitch and go fakes there. He sort of gave a little head bob and Danny didn't buy it, but he just wasn't quick enough to flip his hips and get in phase of Brody. And it was a great ball from Phil. It's just one of those balls that comes over the top of your head. They are the hardest ones to catch because you just lose sight of them and it's not physically possible to run forwards and look backwards.
Kern back to throw. Quick one. Here's Robinson again. But they probably have to use the timeout. They had one timeout. They have to use it here. 4th down.
He's got 4th and 5 or 6 and we'll see what happens here.
So got to get the 5 or 6 yards. There's 23 seconds left on the clock. So every second counts here for Black Tide. Clock stoppage is on, just to remind everyone at home. Incomplete passes, after scores, and
it's all going to come down to how Gronk play this defensively. Are they going to take everything short and Phil not be afraid to take that shot deep and see where it lands them? But we'll see what they give them.
So Black Tide still don't have Van der Veen out there. Going for it all here. 23 seconds left.
Looks like we got Brad Howard isolated on Shale.
Here it is.
Double pressure, so we'll see what happens here. They'll peel off with the center.
Kern back to throw. Looking. Has to have something. Oh, he had a man deep.
There it is.
He goes for Coranda!
Oh, that is a
mistake. At the 1! Shale Coranda must. Brad Howard.
That was an awesome play by Shale. Brad was in a perfect position to play it, got hands to it, and Shale just decided he wanted it more and took the ball away and really made a play there when the Black Tide needed it. So the ball's on the 1. There's probably around 30 seconds left.
Honestly, though, Will, I was watching that play. Quinn McCoy, he went out on the post, And he was wide open in
He
the end
had
zone.
Quinn, yeah, he had Quinn over the middle. He also had James Lachlan over the top, underneath, for an easy conversion. But I think Phil thought, I want to take this, I want to get it down quick. Shale's my target. I know he's going to come down with it, and that's where they went.
1 yard away from potentially getting into a tying situation. Kern looking, end zone. McCoy's open. Someone's open. Robinson, flag down. We've got to wait for this.
Going to get an offensive contact here on the defense. Oh, sorry, on Brody Robinson, I think here.
Got to watch out. I can't go early on the touchdown call here. Have to watch the flag.
It looks like he ran into Brad a little bit, or are they waving it off?
Let's see. Big discussion here. Nathan Cope, experienced referee, he'll sort it out. Usually gets his calls right.
See what they give.
Let's watch him. All right. It's going to be personal foul against the offense. Personal
and
foul
the defense offsetting, so it'll be
got
first down. Replay it down.
So 4 plays to get it in. Remember, the clock does stop in these situations. So the running clock isn't a factor in these finals games. Down by 7, the Black Tide. This is the moments you live for as a football fan. For the players, they'd be nervous as heck. Back to throw. Looking the way of Corrada!
He's dropped the ball. Oofed. He had the right idea. Maybe a little bit of a better throw could have set Corranda up to succeed there, but you can only get what you get. See what they go with here.
Second down coming up.
They've got the downs to do it. It's just the clock that's going to be the issue.
Yeah, I just want a quick time check, honestly. That's why I really want to see. Bit hard to see from our angle here, Will.
Yeah, I'd be shocked if there was any more than 30 seconds on the clock, so we'll see where they go.
23 when we got down the field.
Oh, okay. So there's probably under 20 seconds left now.
Yeah, 10 or so seconds. Second down here. Kern back to throw. Looking over to McCoy.
Oh,
he dropped it.
He had it in his chest.
Oh, no.
They really have to not let this moment get too big, because this is where it's going to happen. They're going to get mistakes because they're going to be nervous. They're going to be trying to get it through.
They have the game in their hands.
Looks like this might be the last play is what we're getting told. There's 1 second left on the clock, so the Black Tide have to score on this play. We'll see what they come out with. Can Gronk really hold down the fort here on the 1 yard line, backed up with the game on the line, or can the Black Tide come through and sneak in an early score? They've dropped 2 that have just landed in the chest, which is just tough to see, and it does happen in these situations.
Here's Phil Kern. He's got the passes on the money, but the receivers haven't caught them. Third down, quick one, looking,
oh, there it is again.
Touchdown for Bitcoin!
Same play where they had to run the misdirection and throw it to the left.
Oh, wait,
2 flags.
Flag again. And I think that's it for Black Tide if there's some contact. He had Lachlan open on that right side. He went the other way.
And they got the score. There we go. So it comes down all to the 1-point conversion. Looks like there were defensive penalties from possibly running into the receivers. But that's awesome to see. So we've got a tight game here, and it all comes down to 1 play again for the Black Tide.
They're down by 1. They need it here. 34. Gronk 33. Black Tide.
Ah, okay, so they're going
win.
for the win. Right, so because of the penalties, they're getting a 2-point try from the 5 yard line. So if they score here, they can win the game.
So for all the marbles, the Black Tide, the grandstand finish, a dynasty.
Looking a bit nervous out there.
For Gronk hangs on to this one. Kern back to throw, rolls, looking over the top, got it!
Shale
got
the score.
Corrada! Black Tide walk off with the win!
Knocking out the last 2
Takes
tournament
the bow!
champions.
The dynasty is over for Gronk. The Black Tide have knocked them out. Shale Corrada got them down to the 1. He gets the 2 points to win it all. We'll take it away.
Awesome job there by Phil. He came out, he was looking a bit nervous, and as soon as he had that ball out to Shale, that was done. Shale was never dropping that ball. That is an awesome game to watch, and it's exactly how you want to see those finals games happen. And it can really come down to defensive penalties there. Like they lost that game because of a couple of bad defensive penalties that gave them the chance to score and win the game. And that's exactly that's how their story played out. Like it went unfortunately bad for them. But it's just, that's awesome to see for the Black Tide. Like a new team coming in, amalgamated from different groups versus a veteran squad of guys that have played together for a long time and rarely lose.
Let me just add the 2 on the scoreboard. I haven't done it yet.
It's
35-34. The Black Tide, an unbelievable performance. Sheo Coranda with the game on the line. On 4th down, they had to get 6 for halfway. Phil Kern threw it to him, trusted him. He mossed out Brad Howard there. Got his foot down at the 1. Went 3 plays at the 1-yard line. On the 3rd one, they got it to McCoy on the pass. They got a penalty, which meant the 2-point conversion was at the 5. And Shale Coranda, the hero, he took a bow afterwards. That was game of the tournament for sure, Will.
That was such a great way for that game to end there. There was no other way you wanted it. You like those close games way more than you do the blowouts. And it allows, teams to really work out who they are and if they're good enough to be there. It looks like now, though, that the Black Tide, or the Dingoes, get their rematch against the Black Tide for their loss in the semi-final. So that'll be an awesome game to come up in. And we're still trying to work out who won the Jim's Flag and the Fiji game to be able to play the Milkmen later. But it looks like we're geared up for some awesome semi-finals, which will be so good to see.
And look, Will, after this result, we'll have a new champion in the second Capture the Flag for the men's division.
It's going to come down to a couple of very, very good teams, and we'll see where that takes them later on in the day. And that championship game is already heating up to be an absolute game of the day.
For sure. And look, Will, it's great having you on. We have the women's matchup between the Mean Girls and the Big Dogs coming up in the semi-finals. We'll have Alex on for that one. But thank you so much for joining me for such a great game.
Thanks, mate.